The Gabba, day 2. Very strange. And so is he. Ask George. Before we start, I have to remind you, do remember that for the incredible price of £1, yes, that's just £1, you can access all the Cricketers content, including all of the amazing Azure content that we are doing. Make sure you check out the link. It's everywhere around this video. So go click on it, get yourself some Cricketer coverage for £1. But anyway, how was that, by the way? Could I sell used cars?
It's extraordinary. She doesn't talk like that in the rest of the day. She doesn't suddenly start going like this theatrical. God knows.
I'm so tired. I was up until 4 a.m. Danny asks, much was made of England scheduling 5 days of nets in the lead up to this match. How much catching practice did they do?
They did a bit. They did do a bit.
They
did a bit under lights, and they did a bit at twilight. I don't know that they do as much as they used to. When was the last time they hit the stumps with direct hits, throws? And if you remember how important those have been, I mean, they've been very important in this game, haven't they? The Stokes run out. But you think of the Gary Pratt run out, the James Vince run out, Jonathan Trott running out, Simon Katic. Do they practice it enough? I'm not positive they do. They have missed 5 chances today, 4 of them not that difficult. Yeah, it hurts. If you go through a day and you take 6 wickets and you spurn the chance to take another 5, it's really going to hurt you, isn't it?
To be not a devil's advocate, almost the opposite, the angel's advocate for England. Even Jake Weatherald has just said after there, and I don't think he was just trying to be nice to the opposition, that especially square of the wicket, it's really, really hard to pick up the pink ball. And he was saying Australia was struggling with it as well, and he actually felt a bit for England. So just putting that out there.
2 that went to the keeper. The first one in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And the second one he didn't go for, which I find a worry because it maybe betrays a lack of confidence. That's a concern.
It is. He hasn't had a great series so far. Jack Rule asks, are England trying to rewrite the definition of insanity? Insanity is bowling short over and over again and expecting different results.
Well, that is basically the definition of being a bowler, isn't it? That you keep putting the ball in pretty much the same area and hope for a different result. So I'm not sure Einstein was necessarily a fantastic follower of cricket. But I mean, your point is, take a look. They weren't able to get the movement that their Australian counterparts managed the previous day, when maybe the pitch had just a little bit more moisture in it, not a lot. So they didn't get the seam or the swing early doors, and then they compensated really with that short ball plan. I mean, look, I think the whole game, the way they're playing at the moment, they feel they need to accelerate everything. And it seems to be contagious, and I think there's another way. But, they're pretty committed to it. And, they are still in the game, and they're still in the game partly because Cameron Green played an extraordinarily bad shot because he was expecting a short ball and then got a full one. So, I don't know. It's a tactic.
It's funny you mentioned Cameron Green, that over where Bryden cast, it was like he suddenly remembered actually how to bowl good short balls. Because there were a lot of air, but it wasn't just him. I think bowlers from both sides, there have been a lot of not really short enough or quick enough short balls in this game. There's been a lot of waist-high stuff.
Okay, so the ball goes very soft though, right?
Yeah, that's right. So it's not a good plan with it.
But the boundaries are very big. So they're saying, take us on, try and hit it in the air. And if you're going to be a patient batter, prepared to roll your wrists and hit singles all day, it's probably something that you can get away with. But batters aren't generally that patient anymore. The game has changed. It's a legitimate tactic. I just think some tactics have gone out of the game. John Inverarity, when I worked in Birmingham, at the Birmingham local papers, he was the coach. He was the coach of Warwickshire. And I remember Warwickshire were playing on some feather beds at the time. And he talked about how Dennis Lilly would bowl at them. And he said everyone talks about Dennis Lilly as being this brilliant fast bowler, which he was. But actually, in the first innings of games in Australia, he would very often just hit a length, and wear the pitch in that area. Then when he had done that, and that takes such skill and such persistence, Then in the second innings, he would have an area to work with, and that's when he'd go to town and become dangerous. I think that part of the skill has maybe gone out of the game a little bit. And I think if a bowler as fearsome and brilliant and wonderful as Dennis Lillee did that, I think maybe Bryden Castle, Gus Atkinson, Ben Stokes maybe could do it as well. You know, I'm not saying that they have that level of skill, I'm saying they should have that level of dedication and persistence to the craft. There are other ways of doing things, and it doesn't just have to be the short ball. But you know, I'm out of time, out of fashion.
Neil Varani asks, the talk will be about the drops, but the bowlers looked wrecked after 50 overs. Lack of miles due to bowling 4 and 10 over spells in New Zealand, and made worse by not bowling jacks all day.
Well, they did bowl jacks all day, and if you did, Neil, did you see the over he bowled? I wouldn't have bowled him again. I mean, what did he go for that over? Was it 9? But there was, four byes down the leg side as well. Yeah. Oh, it wasn't very good. So, and also he took a blinding catch, right? And he might yet have a role to play in the 4th innings if we get that. I mean, look, my worry with all this stuff is that I don't think England's preparation was good enough. I agree. I think that's been apparent quite often. And the problem is that unless they have a good day tomorrow, the series has run away from them. They could be 2-0 down this time tomorrow. And actually, if Cameron Green hadn't played such a dozy shot, they probably would have been. Well, they might have been anyway. So there is a danger that it's over before they've got into it. You know, if they go 2-0 down, the chance of them getting back into it, I mean, they're not even 1 in 100. It's so tough. They've never done it before. So,
They need a good day tomorrow. They really need a great day tomorrow.
But I think the point you make about preparation is probably fair. They did look tired. And they didn't look very comfortable in the field, adjusting to the day-night stuff. Not that it's easy. And they do look as if they've been surprised by pace and bounce several times with batting, you know, not leaving the ball, driving on the up, all those sorts of things. I think quite a lot of those things are preparation related. You could even argue that Smith, going for that catch, was surprised by the pace and bounce because he hadn't accustomed to Australian conditions yet.
Simon Landau asks, as Jacks only bowled 1 over, did Australia make the right call by leaving Lyon out?
Well, no, I don't think they did make the right call because Nathan Lyon's a much better bowler. But also, the game isn't over. He did take a very, very good catch. I mean, an extraordinary catch. And he's got another innings with the bat and another innings with the ball, so a bit early to say. But I would have played Lyon, of course.
Yeah, and also, like, that was quite extraordinary yesterday. Lyon going on Channel 7, the free-to-air broadcaster here, if you haven't seen the clip. A very, very good interview by Mel McLaughlin, the presenter here, and to hear him say he was absolutely filthy, that was all quite extraordinary. I'm going to be interested to see if there's going to be some interesting little rumblings that go on after leaving, not just leaving him out, but seemingly the way it all unfolded. George Young asks, dropped catches, poor bowling, careless batting, are these actually 2 quite poor teams?
They're flawed sides, yeah. Yeah, I think that, you know, there's a lot of talent. But in the grand scheme of things, they are flawed and fun. Yeah. I think that's probably fair. You know, there's no way that, let's look at number 5s of the past for Australia, I don't know, the Wars or anything, Steve Waugh, would have, or Damien Martin maybe, would have allowed England back into the game like Cameron Green did. There's no way. There's been some really, really ponderous cricket, but I feel that it feels like the England methodology, I don't want to call it that word, but the Stokes-McCullum method, their aggression, it's infectious. It's like a virus. And Australia seem to feel the need to show that they can be more alpha male, more aggressive. And that's why, I mean, Cameron Green's shot, I said a few months ago, that Jacob Bethel had played the worst shot in the history of Test cricket. Well, Cameron Green's just say, Jacob, hold my beer. No, Harry Brook was a contender, but Harry Brook's shot yesterday looks Bradman-esque compared to Cameron Green's today. Extraordinary. And it does feel like Australia have been sucked into the way that England play because they want to be more aggressive.
It's infectious.
It's a virus, yeah.
Punk Cinema asks, are Australia better at Bazball, than England?
Well, maybe.
Yeah. They did I thought, a better job today, even though I know it was weird. It's a weird scoreboard when you look at it, the two teams side by side, right? And all the
That's usually
ducks
how we
and-
do it.
No, but like all the ducks for England and then the Joe Root. And then you looked at Australia and there were just all of these
all these
contributions.
50s, based on 40s, yeah.
Yeah. So all these contributions. And it sort of felt for a lot of it like they did pretty well at riding the rhythms at least. Like the respect they gave Joe for Archer, particularly at the start, like with Head and the way that he played. And then Marnus and Smith as well.
He was a class above, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was. But it felt like they were doing that absorb pressure thing that England like to talk about, but don't always do very well. That's the bit
Yeah,
that they
that's
don't
absolutely
get right.
right. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yeah, and I just sort of saw that comparison with the way they respected Jofa and really saw him off, and he was going for less than 2 and over.
Compared to Harry Brook trying to hit
Yeah.
Mitchell Stark for 7 yesterday.
That was a bit of a key difference.
No,
I think.
that's a really good point, and it may yet be. I worry about that Harry Brook dismissal, that it may yet be the defining image of the series. I mean, we're not there yet. Big day tomorrow. But those Harmison wides, the Mike Gatting being bowled by Shane Warne, Flintoff stooping and consoling Brett Lee, Harry Brook's shot. That's not how he wants to be remembered. Oh, I think it was that bad.
I know.
But if England come back into this game, Cameron Green's shot might be. So, what do we know? It's going to be, the bright side of all this is that it's going to be another must-watch day on day 3.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere.
And if it finishes tomorrow, you would think that it would finish in Australia's favour. I do think this wicket's still pretty flat.
Yeah.
I do think there are still runs to be scored there. And the batter who is most determined in the match so far has been Joe Root, and he's the one who's prospered.
Whatever does happen tomorrow, we shall be here to talk about it at the end of play. Until then, why am I saluting?
It's all right.
No.
It is a virus.